please don't compare yourself to other people and what they got going on. I am preaching to myself right now.
Submerge yourself in culture and live meaningful lives.
2021, you have been quite the roller coaster, haven't you? What up everyone, CharisMaggie here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I do content that's all about showcasing countries and cultures through lived experiences, and how I often do that is sometimes I cover topics about languages, cultural, food, history, things like that. So if that's your jam, if you like that, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss another video. So let's get right into it. Y'all, I missed you so much. Like, I missed sitting down and having a sit down video where I just talk to the camera. It's been a hot minute since I've done this, so I don't even know if I'm doing this right, but I have so many things I want to talk about and this video is probably going to be all over the place, so please bear with me. Okay, so first things first, it has been a heck of a year. I have no idea what it has been for any of you, but this year so many things have happened for me, like personally, career wise, with my channel. So I'm gonna start off first with like personal and then working it down to the channel, finishing off with my channel. So personally, I honestly wasn't really sure what this year was gonna hold for me. I had so many uncertainty. There was a lot of grief, especially in the beginning of the year. For any of you who know me personally, you would have known that I lost my grandmother in the beginning of the year. And that was a very hard time because I couldn't be there with my family to, you know, actually be a part of the ceremony to send or offer her final farewell. So that was a bit hard and I'm still coping with it, so that's why I'm kind of like seeming a bit awkward right now. But yeah, that was a hard moment and I was just going through the motions, if I'm being honest with you. Had no idea what my purpose was anymore. This was my final grandparent and it was just hard. It was just hard. So fast forward now to I launched the 4th season of For the Culture. So for those of you who have been around here for a minute with me, you would know that For the Culture is a series that I do where I bring on individuals from different countries and cultures to talk about a topic related to their country. And we kicked off season 4 and I had a great time doing it. This year my channel has exploded with so much growth. I was able to get guests to come on to my channel without me having to source my guests. Like in the past, I was the one who was like going to friends or people that I knew to have them come on and be a guest. But this time around, I actually had people reaching out to me and telling me they wanted to come on and showcase their country and their culture. And I think this was the first time in like probably forever that I got a feeling of what it felt like to build a community and do what my channel is supposed to be doing. Like, it has always been about that. That is why I even did this series to begin with. I could have easily, you know, just gone on YouTube or Google, find a bunch of information and kind of just spit it back to you, but I didn't want to do that because one thing I know about cultures is that it is definitely about lived experiences. Two people from the same cultures can have two very lived experiences, and that's something that's important to me to showcase and validate as well. And so that's why I did that series. So shout out to everyone who came on. The best part that I loved about that series was that we were able to end up doing an entire series just featuring the Creole languages that were specifically like French based. And you can check that out at the end of the video. I will link it at the end and also in the description box below. But we featured, you know, there was Mauritian Creole, Haitian Creole, St. Lucian Creole, Réunion Island, Seychelles. Like, we even have Cape Verde Island, okay, and that's Portuguese based Creole for those of you who don't know. So there's a lot of stuff that happened this summer and I'm so grateful for the guests who came on, extremely grateful for the community who showed up. Y'all were having conversations in the comment section, you were being very encouraging, you were also dropping some knowledge from me, because one thing about me is that I am always willing to like learn from, you know, my subscribers as well, or my viewers. If they come to me respectfully, of course, like there's a way for you to, you know, give information. Sometimes people can be a bit rude, but you know, we move. But thank you so much to everyone. So we are currently at 8,000 and some subscribers. I am hoping by the end of the year that I can get to 10K. just because there are certain perks that I will be able to get from YouTube to produce better content for you. I can't do that now because I haven't had that requirement. So if you want to help me out, please share this video, share my channel with all your friends, your family, get them to subscribe. And there is a lot of content here everyone can learn. I think one thing I appreciated about this entire summer and the journey I was on is that it brought me closer to even my Haitian roots, because I always knew of, like, when I heard Creole, the first thing that came to my mind was Haitian Creole. So me being able to learn that there are other Creole languages out there and just seeing how everyone could relate, like how similar they were, and people felt more comfortable knowing that, you know, I could probably visit that country one day because it's similar to my language and I could have a conversation with that person. That was pretty cool. So lots happened in that department, and I got the inspiration to take it a step further. And because the summer was coming to an end, so was my series, and my episode was kind of running out of content. There was very little I could also do because the panorama and all that we're still in right now. So I decided to develop my own YouTube food series, and it was called Kitchens of Toronto. And this was all recorded during the summer when the weather was nice and everything. Patio season, y'all. It was for me to be able to go to local Toronto-based restaurants that brought a unique cultural cuisine to the city of Toronto. And I was very intentional with the restaurants that I featured. I ensured that the persons were more than likely directly from the country, and I wanted to be able to showcase that there's a lot of things you can explore, a lot of culture to explore right here in Toronto. So even if you can't travel, you can travel, baby, by eating some cultural food right here in the city. So we have Haiti featured, Nigeria, we have Hungary featured, Brazil, the Netherlands, and Mexico. So if you want to check out that series, it will be at the end of the video as well for you to go check out, or link in the description box below. So yes, I've been busy this summer, which brings me to the next part of this video, which is career-wise. So I actually had a couple questions that some of you had asked me, because I wanted to be able to do a final video for the year, which is this one. Someone asked me if I worked full-time, and if yes, what was my primary hustle. So for those of you who don't know, I do YouTube full-time, but I also work full-time. And I work in what you would say is the community non-profit like sector. So I was out here in these streets, you know, when everyone had to work from home, your girl had to go take her public transportation to go to work and show up and serve people, especially those who were experiencing food insecurity. So that definitely was something that took a toll on me mentally, and I fortunately was able to, you know, tap into some mental health resources that were available. Highly encourage that for everyone. I probably will do a video on that at another time, encouraging, you know, especially content creators, ways to really prioritize your mental health. But yes, to answer that question, I work full-time, and on the side I also have my own side hustle, where last year I officially started my own production company where I do social media marketing, video marketing, and email marketing, and it's called CharisMaggietv Production. So yes, your girl is busy, and I don't want to just be busy. I want to be able to have time to spend with the people I love, to rest, to go back to reading, things like that. I miss reading. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely miss reading a good book. So to answer your question, I work full-time. The next question, how do I stay motivated? If I'm gonna be honest with you, especially this year, I had so much self-doubt that came about, and if it wasn't for the help of like family motivating me, also you as the viewers, how you basically showed up, you're giving me feedback on the content I'm creating, so that makes me know that I'm doing something right. It also gives me room to improve. But also I have to shout out my boo, my BF, my boyfriend. He was also a big support in keeping me, like, whenever I had those voices in my head telling me I wasn't good enough, he was there to say, look how far you've come, you can do this, anything you put your mind to, but also ensuring that I wasn't doing things for the sake of doing it, but ensuring that I enjoyed doing it. And if I no longer enjoyed it, maybe it was time for me to take a step back or pause or stop altogether. So I gotta shout him out for that, because that was definitely a very helpful thing. And it was a difficult year to start off with, as I mentioned in the beginning, but I would say having people who are just rooting for you, who are supporting you like genuinely, definitely helps in making you just want to go harder in any single thing that you do. So all of you who have been here since day one, we are on year 5, y'all. This year is year 5 since we've been on YouTube. We out here, you know, we're tugging it out. We're not giving up. We're not going anywhere. So yeah, shout out to y'all. So the next question, how did you do it, or how do you do it all? You're so amazing. Thank you. If I'm being honest with you, time management has been something that I am really trying to work on, but I think a part of what I do in my full-time job, it really helps me in learning how to break down projects. So a part of my full-time job that I have to do, I have to create programs, and all of these things have deadlines, so there's a lot of planning in it. So from beginning to end, I'm planning every single step, and so I'm able to then transfer those skills into this passion here on YouTube that I have. So I am very realistic about my schedule. So some people, they post maybe two times a week or so. I can only post 1 time a month. And one thing that I was also able to do this year is sometimes if I didn't feel like posting because I didn't get time to edit, you know, mentally I wasn't there, I didn't want to push myself too hard, I would just not upload a video. And I don't really think it did anything that bad to affect me. And I was happy that I was able to make peace with that, because it's very crucial that you understand and recognize when you need to slow down. Many of you may not know this, but I believe it was when I just moved to Toronto, maybe 2018 or so, I went through a very low point at some point, and I did take like pretty much almost a year off YouTube. There was like a good, I would say 7-8 months that I did not produce any content on YouTube. Part of that was because I was not feeling motivated. I didn't have that drive for YouTube at the time. I was still figuring out what I wanted to do on YouTube. I didn't know what I wanted to do 100% as yet. And also I used that time to excel, or I guess make more meaningful relationships in my professional life, and also in my overall social life. So I was going out to network events more. That way I was also able to let people know I did have a YouTube channel, and that did help me get some subscribers in those years as well. But I would definitely say I am just glad that I didn't allow myself to be burnt out or demotivated to the point that I went back to that cycle that I had that time, because another break like that on YouTube, I don't know how great that would have panned out. But yes, that is pretty much how I do it all. And I have to big up Father God. He is the only one who gives me strength, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't do all of this on my own strength. When I come home tired from work, where these ideas come from, like, it has to be him that I give the glory to. He's the one who keeps me going as well. So yeah, that's how I pretty much do it all. And as I mentioned in the beginning too, like, your support, however it is, you show up in my DMs, you show up watching videos, you're sharing a video, that also helps me to keep pushing and seeing what else is it that I can do. I just like to push the limits and see what else can Maggie do. And these 2 questions are related to the Kitchens of Toronto series that I mentioned earlier. So someone asked me what was my favorite Kitchens of Toronto episode, and the next question is what cuisine was my favorite to try. So I'm going to answer those 2 questions in one. So my favorite episode, I would say was the Haiti one. And it's going to be very biased, but the reason is because a lot of the foods that I was eating, it was things that I grew up having my mom make for me, and whenever I would visit Haiti, my grandmother would always make those things too. So I would say that video was somewhat of like nostalgic, and I also got to take a good friend with me. Hey Siri, if you're watching this, girl. So I got to, you know, share with her that side of my culture through my food, and she loved it. So I have to say that was my favorite episode. And what was my favorite cuisine? I would say it was the one from the Netherlands, and it was because I think when I think about European cuisine, and there was a reason that I even purposely would not like Google some of these menus. I would just go to the restaurant and I wanted to be surprised because I wanted to be very open, and my philosophy is don't knock it till you try it, pretty much. We have so many things planned for 2022, so pray for me, y'all. I hope that I'll see you in that year. But just to give you a little update, in 2022 I am launching my own podcast called Business and Culture. This is something that I actually started recording since the fall, even summer of this year, and it was supposed to be launching in October, so that didn't happen. So we are just pivoting and pushing the release date for the new year. So look out for that. It is an interview with entrepreneurs who are here living in Canada, who are all from different cultural backgrounds, and it's a very informal conversation. I'll be talking to them about, you know, what changes they had to go through when they moved to Canada, adapting to the new culture, any similarities or differences they noticed, how did they have to do or go about doing business. And they will also be dropping some gems in there for you. So if you're someone who's interested in being an entrepreneur, this is a podcast that will be very insightful for you, because I will be having entrepreneurs who are from different industries here in Canada. So excited! Look out for it, y'all. Look out for it. I just want to say, every single one of you who has been a die-hard subscriber, I have a Christmas treat for you, but I can only give it to you if you're subscribed to my newsletter, because I'm going to be sending out a very special treat next week. So I would say Christmas Eve is when it will go out. So if you want to be able to get in on that special surprise, I am going to link in the description box again. There is a link to sign up for my newsletter. If there's anything I would want to leave you all with, it's I honestly did this a lot during the year, and it's one thing that I am hoping that I can cut out as a habit. Learn how to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are. Learn how to celebrate your wins. I'm actually mad at myself because this year I celebrated 5 years on YouTube and I didn't even really celebrate. I don't know if it was because work got in the way, whatever the case might be. I did not take time to really celebrate that milestone, and this is me being on YouTube 5 years consistently. So it's like, Maggie, that was a huge deal. No matter where you think you are in your YouTube journey, that's still something to celebrate. So that's one thing I would advise. And the next thing is, please don't compare yourself to other people and what they got going on. I am preaching to myself right now. In this day and age of social media, it's very easy for you to see what other people got going on and to feel as if, you know, maybe you're not there yet and you're wondering why you're not there, and then now you're in this rabbit hole wondering all the things you did wrong. So that is one thing I would recommend. Enjoy the process of creating. If you're a content creator especially, enjoy the process of creating, learning from your mistakes. We don't have failures over here. All we have are lessons. And always remember to, like, there are certain things that will matter in this world, like views and subscribers and things like that. But please, please don't let that validate your work and what you're doing. Just create. People are watching. People are watching. Even if they're not commenting, they're not saying anything to you personally, they are watching you. So just be mindful of that and do things that will keep you and your peace in mind. If it's destroying your peace, then it's time to evaluate it and probably get rid of it or find a way to scale back. And again, I am speaking to myself here as well. So thank y'all for watching this video. I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Happy New Year when it comes, and your girl will see you in 2022. As always, don't forget to do road and do things, and until next time, Maggie is out.